There's a type of person who lives more inside their mind than in conversation. They pause before speaking. They notice things others walk past, the way light falls through a window, the weight of a silence, the meaning hidden beneath words. These are the deep thinkers, people who can spend hours lost in thought without feeling lost at all, and most of the world misunderstands them completely. They're called distant, overthinking, too serious, too complicated. But what if I told you that 800 years ago, the most feared warriors in Japan deliberately cultivated this exact quality? That deep thinking wasn't a flaw to them, it was a weapon, and they had a specific practice to develop it. Today, we're diving into the ancient samurai practice behind deep thinkers. It's called Zazen, seated meditation. And once you understand how samurai used deep thinking not just to win battles, but to master life itself, you'll never see your own contemplative nature the same way again. Before I show you exactly how this works, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell me in the comments. Are you a deep thinker? Do you live more in your mind than in the world? This helps the channel grow. Thank you for your attention. Now back to the video. Let me tell you about a young samurai named Yoshiro. Edo period, Japan, 1650s. Yoshiro was 17 years old when he joined a prestigious sword school. He was skilled, fast, technically excellent, but he had one problem that confused everyone. During training, he would sometimes freeze, not from fear, from thought. His master would call an attack pattern, and while other students reacted immediately, Yoshiro would pause. Just a fraction of a second. But in combat, a fraction of a second means death. His fellow students mocked him. Stop thinking so much. Just move. The instructor grew frustrated. Yoshiro, in battle there is no time for contemplation. You must act. But Yoshiro couldn't help it. Every technique triggered analysis. Why this angle instead of that one? What's the principle underneath this movement? How does this connect to what I learned last week? His mind was a storm of connections, patterns, questions. It never stopped. One day, the master's master visited the school. An old monk, maybe 75 years old. He'd been a samurai in his youth before becoming a Zen priest. He watched Yoshiro train. Afterward, he approached him. Your mind moves too fast for your body. Yoshiro felt shame. I know, I'm trying to quiet it. The old monk shook his head. Don't quiet it, deepen it. Yoshiro was confused, but everyone says I think too much. You do think too much. The monk smiled. Because you think shallowly, you think scattered. You need to learn Zazen, the way of deep thinking that transforms chaos into clarity. Zazen, or seated meditation, is the central practice of Zen, cultivating a focused and tranquil mind. Through regular meditation, practitioners aim to quiet the internal chatter, gain insight into the nature of reality, and cultivate a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. The monk explained, deep thinkers like you aren't broken. You're unrefined. You have the capacity to see connections others miss, but without training, that capacity becomes noise. Zazen transforms the noise into signal. That night, Yoshiro sat with the monk, cross-legged, back straight, eyes half closed. The monk instructed him, don't try to stop thinking. That's impossible for a mind like yours. Instead, watch your thoughts. Observe them like clouds passing through sky. Don't grab them, don't follow them, just notice. Yoshiro tried. Within seconds, his mind exploded. Thoughts about technique, about his performance today, about what his instructor thought of him, about dinner, about a girl he saw in the village last week, about his future, about death, about everything and nothing simultaneously. The monk's voice cut through, that's normal. Your mind is untrained. It runs like a wild horse. Right now you're trying to catch every thought. Stop catching, just sit. Yoshiro sat for 20 minutes. It felt like hours. When he opened his eyes, the monk asked, how many thoughts did you have? Thousands. Good, tomorrow we sit again. This continued for 3 months. Every evening, 1 hour of Zazen, just sitting, just observing. And something extraordinary began to happen. Yoshiro noticed that his thoughts had patterns, the same worries recycled, the same questions repeated, the same mental loops ran endlessly. Zazen focuses on posture and breathing to cultivate mental serenity, allowing the practitioner to immerse themselves in a state of inner peace. This stillness not only offers respite from the daily hustle and bustle, but also cultivates emotional and mental strength. By month 2, Yoshiro could sit for 30 minutes without getting completely lost in thought. He'd notice when his mind wandered, and he could gently bring it back, not forcing, just redirecting. By month 3, something shifted. During training one day, an attack came. Yoshiro's body moved before his mind caught up. Perfect technique, zero hesitation. His conscious mind hadn't decided anything. His deeper mind, the one trained through Zazen, had already seen the pattern and responded. The instructor was stunned. "What happened to you?" The monk smiled from the corner. He learned to think deeper, not faster. Here's what modern neuroscience is discovering about deep thinkers and meditation. People who naturally think deeply have what psychologists call high trait introspection. During the states of mushin or flow, the prefrontal cortex is said to be reduced in activity, blood flow, which allows decisions to be based more off the instinctual subconsciousness. The samurai understood this centuries ago. They knew that deep thinking without training becomes overthinking, but deep thinking with training becomes insight. Zazen was their training method. It taught them to observe their own mental processes without getting trapped in them. Yoshiro continued training for 5 years. Every day, sword practice in the morning, Zazen in the evening, and gradually he became known for something unusual. He could predict opponents' moves before they made them, not through psychic ability, through pattern recognition developed in deep observation. Other students would ask, "How do you know what they'll do?" Yoshiro would reply, "I don't know what they'll do. I see what they're thinking of doing before they commit to it." His mind, trained to observe subtle patterns during Zazen, now observed subtle shifts in posture, breathing, tension during combat. Details invisible to others. The old monk explained it to him one evening. Deep thinkers see connections. You notice how one thing relates to another, how a shift in weight predicts a strike, how a breath pattern reveals intention. But untrained deep thinkers drown in these connections. They see too much and freeze. Trained deep thinkers like you now are, they see patterns and flow with them. This is the ancient practice samurai used, not to stop thinking, to think so deeply that thinking becomes seeing. By practicing this kind of meditation regularly, they learned how to clear away distractions and keep a strong inner focus. This mental clarity was especially important in battle. When your mind is calm, you can see clearly, act quickly, and stay aware of everything happening around you. Modern psychology calls this metacognition, the ability to think about thinking. Deep thinkers naturally have high metacognition. They're constantly analyzing their own thought processes. Why did I react that way? What does this feeling mean? Where did that thought come from? Zazen refines this into a tool. Instead of drowning in self-analysis, you learn to observe your mind from a distance, to see thoughts as temporary phenomena, not permanent truths. Yoshiro lived to be 68 years old. He became a master swordsman, then later a teacher. Students would come to him and say, "I think too much. I can't turn my mind off. It's a problem." Yoshiro would smile, "It's only a problem if you don't train it. Come, sit with me." He'd teach them the same practice the monk taught him. Sit, observe, don't try to empty your mind. That's a myth. Empty mind is not the goal. Clear mind is the goal, and clarity comes from depth, not from absence. Here's what the samurai understood about deep thinkers that modern culture forgets. Deep thinking is not overthinking. Overthinking is worrying about the future or ruminating on the past. Deep thinking is observing the present so completely that you see through it. You see the patterns, the connections, the invisible structures that hold everything together. The samurai cultivated this through Zazen because they understood something profound. In battle, the warrior who sees deeper wins, not the one who reacts faster, the one who sees the pattern before it completes. Here's your challenge, directly from samurai practice. For the next 30 days, practice Zazen for 10 minutes every evening. Just sit, back straight, eyes half closed, observe your breath, and when thoughts come, and they will come constantly because you're a deep thinker, don't fight them, just notice. Oh, there's a thought about work, there's a worry about tomorrow, there's a memory from yesterday. Notice and let them pass. Don't grab them, don't follow them, just observe. And after 30 days, notice what happens during your day. Notice if you can observe your own thinking in real time. Notice if you can see patterns you missed before. Notice if your depth of thinking becomes clarity instead of chaos. Because the ancient samurai practice wasn't about stopping thought. It was about deepening thought until thought becomes insight, until analysis becomes wisdom, until contemplation becomes presence. The deep thinkers among you, you're not broken. You're not overthinking, you're undertrained. Your mind has the capacity to see what others miss. But without Zazen, without deep observation practice, that capacity becomes noise. Zazen transforms it into signal. And when deep thinking is trained, it becomes the most powerful tool a human being can possess. The ability to see through surface into structure, to recognize patterns before they complete, to understand others before they speak, to know yourself before you act. If this video changed how you see your own deep thinking nature, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share it with another deep thinker who needs to hear this. And remember, the samurai didn't fear deep thinkers. They trained them to become the most dangerous warriors. Because a mind that sees deeply is a mind that cannot be defeated. Until next time, sit in Zazen, observe your depths, and walk the path.